Greetings once again, spacefaring adventurers. Duuz-Diz-Din back again with another chapter of Eden Zero, where previously, trying to get their plan into full motion of using the chronophage to revert Mother back in time, thus preserving her if only for a moment. The biggest obstacle are Void and his forces, namely the remaining Oratian says Galactica, as Klein goes to controls of the Eden Zero, which I was hoping it would be a tag team against Dead End Care, but no, Jin's taking this one on by himself. More than likely because he wasn't able to really help fight alongside Holy back in the previous timeline. While this is going on, Homura has encountered Lady Freya in the Bath of Edens and has, naturally, because this is a Mashima comic, been stripped down to her buck nakedness, showing that Freya is not just precise, but fast. Faster than Homura can see. Looks like our girl might be in a little bit of danger. All the while, Ziggy is taking on Void, and Ziggy has gone so far as to go into his overdrive mode in order to reach out and touch Void right through the chest. Is this the end? Of course not. It wouldn't be the series if that was really the end of Void right then and there. It'd be pretty anticlimactic. But how does Void get over getting a hand through the chest? Join me as I find out, won't you? Alright, Eden Zero, chapter 280. And I swear this cover page was a very confused looking Wise. It makes the face I normally make. Head empty, no thoughts. Okay, hey, what's up, Wise? Moving on. We pick up with Ziggy shoving his fist right through Void's chest. Oh, and Void goes from looking dumbfounded to smirking. It helps that he's a robot because he then uses Cat Leaper to rewind time right before Ziggy struck. He uses the opportunity to dodge out of the way and then subsequently kicks Ziggy off. You know, it's interesting. For Rebecca, there were repercussions for rewinding time, and yet Void's able to use it freely. Plot hole? Or plot point? We'll have to wait and see. Void tells his father, as long as I have Cat Leaper, I will never be defeated. Ziggy halts his momentum and calls back to his son, clearly you don't know anything. I'm a robot, so having a kid is a bit beyond my capability. But if I have anything that can only be passed from father to son, it's the lesson I'm going to have to teach you about the meaning of power. Man, I gotta tell you, Ziggy looks wildly sinister right here. God, if I didn't know any better, I'd think he was the villain. Meanwhile, Klein is at the controls of the Eden Zero, doing her best to keep the Edens 1 off their heels. Is it just the AI of the 1? God, looking at Jin without his cloak, with those weird broad-ass shoulders. But Jin faces off against Dead End Cure. Cure then speaks up saying, I used to be a warrior of light. I would create my own darkness so I could defeat it and shine brighter. Okay, so the same as in the previous universe. Jin mocks him saying, a real self-made hero, I see. Cure continues on saying, that was how I brought light to the world. But I will never forget that Atmos day 10 years ago on the planet Swan. So the massacre must not have happened then. I built the Titan Dead End Crow to attack the festival. I was going to rescue the town and become their light. Oh, but I wasn't the one to save them. It was the Interstellar Union Army. And you see Jaguar rescuing Holy and her little sister. I wonder if that's the case, what did Holy's sister end up doing? Because Holy, probably inspired by Jaguar's saving them, was seemingly inspired to join the Interstellar Union Army. Wonder what happened to her sister? Kier says with a sinister smile, that's when I realized I was the evil. But I like it that way. At least we don't have to deal with this twisted sense of justice. Jin looks down on him saying, don't try to make yourself out to be some kind of fallen hero. You're always a hopeless piece of trash. In this world, we've met guys that we weren't friends with in the old one. I wouldn't go so far as to say they're upstanding people now, but the relationship changed, and we can understand each other. He says that he thinks to Draken, Kurenai, and Shura. He then says, but you are past all help. Good news for me, though. Now I don't have to think twice about punching you. Yeah, It's one of those things where I've heard people comment, it's just like, oh, so now all the villains are redeemed? No, not all of them. Mueller's still a piece of trash, Kira's still a piece of trash. Like, it's one of those things where it's just like, for some, given certain situations, they would have become better. Although with some of the villains turned hero, or, well, technically not. I don't know, time travel. The reason why some of those guys, Draken, Joe, Kurenai, Shura, why they didn't end up as bad people is a little bit shaky because, I mean, they very much are completely separate people from the ones we initially met. They didn't go down a dark path, period. It doesn't even seem like they were tempted to go down a darker path. That's what makes them completely different people in my eye. I mean, maybe it was a brief thought, you know, what if the turning point for Draken Joe was simply, hey, I could take the lives of humans, or I could just take the lives of animals and treat it just like eating food in order to preserve his life. For Kurenai, she could have chosen to take over the planet and become a dictator, or she could choose to actually try to lift up the planet and become a good person. For sure, it's become a tyrannical ruler, or actually try to be a good ruler. It's hard to say what the big turning point for them was. But then you have Mueller and Crow, who just went down the same path regardless. Kier sneers, saying, you should try being evil. It's really quite enjoyable. You don't have to save anyone, he says as he dashes towards Jin. The two then clash. Kier tries to throw a punch, but Jin dodges, and as he ducks under Kier's fist, he delivers a strike to Kier's midsection. Oh! Kier's eyes then begin to shine as he fires a laser out of them at Jin's chest. Jin then uses his wind ether gear to shred through Kier's body, but Kier's body instantly repairs itself as Kier smiles, saying, your attacks mean nothing before my regenerative powers. Ooh, he then delivers a strike to Jin's head. He then brings out the mechanical tendrils from the ceiling and walls and floor that bind Jin in place. Kira gives a sinister smile, saying, and now it's time for your execution. But Jin smiles as well, saying, I don't believe it. Xenolith's training is actually coming in handy. Oh, right. I mean, ether gear can't be used if you're bound, but Jin can remove his limbs. Thankfully, he's still cybernetic in this universe. Jin disengages his limbs, much to Kier's shock, as he says, what? You're an android too? And Jin smiles, saying, half android, yeah. That's what we call a cyborg. And Jin uses his rocket punch to deliver a surprise attack to Kier, taking him off guard. Unbound, Jin manages to use his wind ether gear to slice through his bonds. He then delivers a massive attack to Kier. Sky Mech Ninjutsu attack. Windstorm slash! Kier is slammed into the wall with immense force, but his body repairs itself once again, saying, your attacks won't work on me. I'll just keep regenerating. I am immortal. But Jin then says, you know, I think Dead End Crow had a core. And Kier's shocked, saying, what? How do you know that? And Jin says, I mean, you're a machine. I don't care how powerful you are. You need some kind of mechanism to supply the energy. Which is true. That's why characters who can regenerate infinitum are so weird, because it's just like, look, there's at least got to be something left. And most ways to defeat a character who can constantly regenerate is vaporize them. Utterly and completely. I don't care how well Wolverine and Deadpool can regenerate. Turn them to ash, they no come backy. Kier freaks out, smiling, saying, but you don't know where it is. And Jin gives him a wry smile, saying, same place as Crow, right? And he thinks back to where Dead End Crow's weak spot was, his navel. Kier starts to freak out, saying, no, don't, stop. And Jin starts to summon his power, using his ether gear, and uses Sky Mech Ninjutsu attack. Windstorm, Dracolance, huh. I wonder if this is in tribute to Jet from Ravemaster, but he delivers a massive attack to Kier's midsection. And as Kier is destroyed, his last words are, impossible. Jin looks down on him, saying, Kier, huh? Guess you should have started by curing your delusions. Ooh, sick burn. Okay, so I'm going to be a hypocrite in saying this, but as much as I've been complaining about the anticlimactic nature of some of the fights, you know, Clown, Brigadine, even Lightning Law. I'm pretty happy with the way this one went. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just because of the fact that Cure was just such a despicable bastard, and we already beat him once, and seeing that he was, thankfully thwarted from killing 1,000,000 people, and maybe just Jin having his own time to shine, I don't know, I really feel like a hypocrite. Cause you think I would feel the same way with the fight with Laguna. Like, Laguna did overdrive, why didn't Lightning Law did overdrive? And shoot, even in terms of this, Jin didn't have to bust out the overdrive, and Chris beat this fairly easily, honestly. But at the same time, I don't hate it. Maybe that's just because I don't really care for Cure. I'm just like, seeing him again, I'm like, okay, kick this guy's ass. Okay, I think that was it. I think it's the same thing with Mueller. It was one of those things of, no, I kind of hate this guy. I want to see him just get the stuffing beat out of him. I think that's what it comes down to. Because at least with a lot of other characters, I don't know, but then again, I cared more about God Agnoella's defeat. Feeling like that, like we could have done more with that. Maybe just because she was built up so much. Because the dragons were a problem for the longest time. I don't know. Seeing her go down just didn't really sit right with me. I don't know what it was. I feel like I really am a hypocrite. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, though. How do you feel about Jin's, or Chris, however you want to say his name, how do you feel about this defeat of Dead End Cure? Because while I do still wish to see more of a knockdown, drag-out fight, I'm also okay with this being the end of it. My own biases. But again, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the ride. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din, and I hope to see you later. Take care. Bye-bye.